Continuing on with the Manesca French course, and we are now on M0069, which in Manesca's book is chapter 16, part 15. And the first word we're going to look at is the word for contempt, spelled C-O-N-T-E-M-P-T in English, contempt, or despisal, D-E-S-P-I-S-A-L. So when you hold someone in contempt, it means you basically diss them, to put it into modern street slang. You have disrespect for them. So le mépris, L-E, and then M-E, acute accent, P-R-I-S, le mépris, the contempt, the disrespect for someone. So do you avoid the contempt of the prince? Do you avoid the contempt of the prince? In French, évitez-vous le mépris du prince? So E acute accent, V-I-T-E-Z hyphen V-O-U-S, L-E, M-E acute accent, P-R-I-S, D-U, P-R-I-N-C-E. Évitez-vous le mépris du prince? And I avoid his contempt. I avoid his contempt. Avoid, A-V-O-I-D. J'évite son mépris. J apostrophe E acute accent, V-I-T-E, S-O-N, M-E acute accent, P-R-I-S. J'évite son mépris. I avoid his contempt. And now we're going to start the oral exercise, the mouvement. I'll ring the bell as usual. You press the pause button and either give your answer out loud or write it down, and then I will give you a model answer. Évitez-vous le mépris du roi? Évitez-vous le mépris du roi? J'évite son mépris. N'évitez-vous pas son mépris? N'évitez-vous pas son mépris? Non, je n'évite pas son mépris. Qui évite son mépris? Remember, there are lots of ways of answering a question like this. Qui évite son mépris? Le danseur évite son mépris. Cet homme évite-t-il mon mépris? Cet homme évite-t-il mon mépris? Il évite votre mépris. Évite-t-il votre mépris? Évite-t-il votre mépris? Il évite mon mépris. Il évite mon mépris. Chapter 16, word or phrase number 16. Do you despise? That's D-E-S-P-I-S-E. Do you despise? To despise somebody is to have no respect for them, to think of them as much lower than yourself in terms of status. Do you despise? Méprisez-vous? M-E, acute accent, P-R-I-S-E-Z hyphen V-O-U-S, point d'interrogation, that's a question mark. Méprisez-vous? Do you despise? And I despise. Je méprise. J-E, and then M-E, acute accent, P-R-I-S-E. Je méprise. A short observation here about the way some French verbs are formed. Many verbs in French are formed from nouns. For example, the noun we just had before was le mépris, the contempt. And then we saw the verb méprisez-vous, do you despise? In other words, do you have contempt? And what happens is the endings of the verb are added to the noun. So in this case, we're talking about the present tense, and it's the indicative tense, so the normal way of speaking in everyday conversation. We add EZ and E and E for the three persons. First person, myself. Second person, yourself. Third person, someone over there. And so far, these are the only ones we've learned so far. And we've learned the third person when we ask the question qui. So who is doing that? Referring to someone over there. Not myself, not you, but the third person over there. So le mépris was the noun. And then vous méprisez, that's second person. Je méprise, first person. And qui méprise, who is despising. Il méprise, he is despising. So that's our little grammar note. You're going to start the mouvement, the oral exercise now. For this, méprisez-vous, je méprise. Méprisez-vous le vice. Méprisez-vous le vice. Je le méprise. Je le méprise. Méprisez-vous l'égoïsme. Méprisez-vous l'égoïsme. Je le méprise. Méprisez-vous l'orgueil. Méprisez-vous l'orgueil. Je le méprise. Le méprisez-vous. Le méprisez-vous. Je le méprise. Méprisez-vous cet homme. Méprisez-vous cet homme. Je le méprise. Qui méprise ce vice? Qui méprise ce vice? Le général le méprise. Lots of ways of answering that question. Le danseur, le dessinateur, and other words that we've learned for people. Qui méprise l'orgueil? Qui méprise l'orgueil? Le roi le méprise. Le roi le méprise. Qui méprise l'égoïsme? Qui méprise l'égoïsme? Le prince le méprise. Le prince le méprise. And that brings us to the end of the lesson, and we've now ended chapter 16 in Manesca's textbook. We're moving on to chapter 17, and of course this is the end of MM0069. Bye.